when in fact you are doing monarchical. You can say you are practicing the cabinet system, the Westminster, which I think the one they are canvassing now. You may actually be doing something else that you may not even define. So when you have an admixture of, or a cacophony of clamors for different labels, political labels, and you have less thinkers within the system, you can't think through the system you want, so you're already doomed.
But will a parliamentary system solve the problems?
That is the point I'm trying to make, is that there's nothing like a straight-jacketed, you can call somebody mad person, it's a label, but the degree of madness differ. You understand? The other person will say, I have not gone to the market naked, but I receive calls, not from internet. If you get the point I mean. So you'll be talking on the street. He has no phone, nothing, but he's laughing. So you think that you are sane and you label him mad. So what I'm saying is, when you ask this question, I will not just say yes or no. At this level, we have to examine, and that is the problem in this country. This issue of parliamentary system, people canvassing it, is not new. It's just that a few people have now put their thought into action as an attempt.
Do you think it will form some subheadings when we come to the issue of restructuring?
Well, this is even a fundamental restructure. If it is allowed, it's a fundamental, because constitution is the ground norm. Every other thing you do must derive from the constitution. And anything that is inconsistent with that, which have been captured under that constitution, will die ab initio.
You have said this several times. I've heard you say it is not about the document.
Yes.
But who runs that document?
That is the culture,
in this,
the mindset,
in this
the preparation of those people. You come, if you bring monkey to rule a nation, it will not succeed. Because the monkey does not have that experience to rule human beings. But if you bring a human being who has been involved in animal husbandry, he probably will understand the behavior of monkey when it jumps. That if you tickle it with banana, it can follow you for 2 kilometers if it is very hungry. So there are issues of governance, experience. So
should the reps, honorable reps, be looking at this now instead of looking at the issues of governance?
In fact, as you have asked me, my candid opinion is that there is even what we call jurisprudential ceremony. There is a complaint about sources of constitution if it is not rooted in the people, because it's not sustainable. The constitution must come from the people. Okay? They may say they are representatives of the people, but how many of their people have they consulted? And we are falling into the same pitfall that the constitution that will be operated now say, we the people. But people say we were not consulted. And that is why there are a lot of, problems, frictions in the implementation, because there is a mismatch between those on whom this document have been dumped and what they have, the capacity they have to implement, to interpret it and implement it. So what we are saying is, if as many people are talking about national conference or whatever, new constitution, there should be a constituent assembly. This idea may have been rolled. Let it be in the public space. But the government must find a way to buy into it. It may not be this government going forward, because this thing should not be done in a hurry. Okay? Going forward, there should be a buy-in that a constituent assembly should look at various options, not the kind that you sponsor people, they go and stay in air-conditioned hotels. Because to write constitution, you can make it an essay.
What about the 2014? But it's not an essay. What about the 2014 constitution?
You see, when you talk about 2014 constitution, even the one that Abacha,
yes, the
Abacha, all of them contain one or two things that endear them to the people. But what kind of thinking went into it other than just bringing the the concept or the idea. And everybody say, yeah, it's good. Like now, people are jumping at these 71 people. But nobody is thinking, this parliamentary system, what modifications has it even gone in the British experience? What is the British culture? You see it in the parliament when somebody says, you say, but now I don't agree, you carry chair. You don't see such culture because it is an anathema in their culture that somebody is so, you can't even call somebody an idiot. But you can use the word in such a manner that in Africa, the person will be happy with you because he has used a very diplomatic word to finish you in terms of character. It is enough to even tell somebody, I'm disappointed in this conduct. That means you are no longer measuring up to that level of that person's expectations of civility.
Mr.
So
Naj, let me put you on hold.
Yes,
and
please.
Ask Mr. Nweze. Everything that has been said about system of government, when we were asking Honorable Yewife earlier, when we were talking about the historical antecedents that Nigeria had practiced parliamentary system of government, and it collapsed, he interpreted that to mean that, oh, the military took over. But the parliamentary system of government, as at the time the military took over, was having problems, was having difficulties. The West, what was then known as the Western region, was under emergency rule. It had an administrator in what is now known as North Central Nigeria. The army was being used to quell riots and so on. So it's not exactly as if it was working perfectly before the military stepped in. Now, Mr. Naj has also pointed out that this thing is a long, drawn process and that the people need to be involved. It brings forward the question of timing. Now, the elections are about 60 days or so away under the current system. If this is to pass, how would you suggest we go about it?
Well, first of all, the parliamentary system, I'm not even an advocate of it.
Okay.
I don't even want parliamentary system. I don't want presidential system. I don't want any system that is not Nigerian system. You know, because to build a nation, you need to begin to look at the, characteristics of the people. We need to understand how the people behave, how the people think, how they want to do certain things, and put all that together to have a national culture, okay? Because without that, we're also wasting our time. The thing is that, if you ask me, crash this system, have interim government.
Say it again. Please start again.
It crashed the system.
Crash